Whenever I hear about lack of taste or smell, I think of inflammation, mucus, or respiratory or sinus secretions clogging things up in the head. You know how when you have a cold or a sinus infection or you're stuffed up, you can't taste and you can't smell. You know what I'm talking about? Sure. It's the same idea. So if he has a history of food allergies, chances are pretty good that he does. A history of food intolerances, that can cause that problem. So he's going to want to work on the digestive system and standard stuff we always talk about: food diary, eliminating problem foods, eating less food, using the Biolumin Nightly Essence, digestive enzymes with all of his meals, apple cider vinegar with all his meals, etc. If he has arthritis or an inflammatory disease or allergies, that's really good news, because then he can start working with his inflammatory issues and he'll notice that his taste and his smell improve. Does that make sense?
Yes, I didn't notice him having any. We were kind of working together on a project, and I didn't notice him have any congestive or sneezing or. You
didn't notice? You didn't?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, it may be subtle. It may be under the radar. Ask him if he has any other inflammatory issues or food intolerances or food allergies. That's what I'd be focusing on. Uh-huh. So zinc and copper, those are involved in taste. Or zinc is involved in taste. And then the inflammatory component and the allergy component is what I'd be focusing on. If he does have other issues, that's good, because then he can work on those and his taste and his smell will improve. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't get the copper volume.
2 to 4 milligrams.
2 to 4,
a day of a copper chelate along with 50 milligrams of zinc. Of course, the Healthy Start Pack, that goes without saying. And we talked about vitamin A earlier. Vitamin A and zinc work together as well. The whole spectrum of nutrition through the Healthy Start Pack and the Mighty 90 Nutrients, but throw in some extra zinc and throw in some extra copper and vitamin A as well.
I called Friday, and I'd heard that you were talking about Biolumin
Nightly Essence. Oh, yeah, we had the formulator of the Biolumin Nightly Essence on the air.
Sounded like that would be a key helper for him.
Absolutely. Sure. Everybody needs that product. And I love the Biolumin Nightly Essence. I use it every day myself. I recommend it highly for all digestive issues and also for your brother-in-law. Got to move on, Harold. Thank you so much.
Brother in the Lord. Jesus.
What's that?
Thank you so
much. Oh, your brother in the Lord. Thank you, my friend. Take care. Okay. All right, David in Texas. Good morning. Welcome to the bright side. David? Hey, David. You got to turn your radio off, David. I think we lost David. All right. I don't know where David went. David, you there?
I am here.
Okay. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fairly good, thank you. I appreciate you taking my call. I listen to you quite regularly here in Austin on Texas Liberty Radio.
Awesome. And, thank you. Say hi to Deb Stevens.
I've got a question regarding a illness I was diagnosed with recently. It's called Graves' disease.
Okay.
Autoimmune disease. I'm sure you're aware of it.
I'm aware of it. Thyroid disease, Graves' disease is very common, or relatively common. And the thyroid disease in general is common. It's part of what I call the triangle of disease. Once the thyroid gets messed up, that's when everything else starts to break down in the body. The thyroid regulates the activity of every one of the 100 trillion cells in your body. Every one of the cells in your body depends on thyroid hormone for its activity. Now, hypothyroidism, poorly functioning thyroid, low functioning thyroid, is more common than Graves' disease, which is hyperthyroidism. But either way, you're dealing with an autoimmune problem. That means you're dealing with a food problem. Now, I said the triangle of disease. I haven't talked about that for a little bit, but there's 3 main points where the body breaks down, and then after that, everything else follows. So the digestive system is the first point on the triangle of disease. That begins to break down way early, pretty much as soon as we're born or even in the womb. Certainly by the age of 2 or 3 for most of us, if we're subsisting on the standard American diet, our digestive system starts to break down. Once that happens, it's a quick jump to the blood sugar, or to dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar. That's the second point on the triangle of disease. And then from messed up blood sugar, or dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar, dys means messed up, and glycemia, blood sugar. From digestive breakdown to dysglycemia, it's a quick jump to the thyroid. So that's the triangle: digestive, blood sugar, thyroid. If you have an autoimmune disease, and most thyroid problems have some component of autoimmunity, guaranteed, David, you have a digestive problem. The immune system is synonymous with the digestive system for the most part. There is some immunity in the skin and a few other places in the blood, but for the most part, digestion is a synonym for immunity. Digestion equals immunity. That means, my friend, Guaranteed. I'm not psychic. I'm just giving you how the body works here. I'm not psychic, Ben. I'm pharmacist, Ben. I'm telling you, you got a digestive health condition. Right, David? Do you know about it? Or do you...
I believe, I think you're probably correct. You know, I have been addressing it with probiotics and some enzymes. I was wanting to
not successfully addressing it, although you may be doing some good with the probiotics, which I recommend, and the enzymes. But you got to figure out what you're reacting to, and the only way to do that is, number one, to see when your thyroid gets all jumpy, when you get hyperthyroid. Do you have blood pressure issues and sweating and all that kind of stuff, and jitteriness, everything? Okay. Notice when. All of that's all hyperthyroidism, and don't let them drug your thyroid or take out your thyroid or radiate your thyroid. That's the way the doctors treat it.
That's what they're wanting to do.
Well, you tell them,
Tapazole.
To kill the thyroid. Right. So this is the stupidity of the model. Now, again, I don't want to blame individual doctors, although it's hard for me to understand how a human being can do this to another human being. But other than that, it's not an individual doctor problem. It is a model problem, a paradigm problem. The model says your thyroid is moving too fast, let's poison it. The medical model says the thyroid is moving too fast, let's radiate it or take it out. Oh, my God, I've seen people without a thyroid. I cannot even begin to tell you how heartbreaking that is to see somebody without a thyroid because some doctor took it out because somebody was hyperthyroid. The hyperthyroidism and autoimmunity mean focus on foods. Now, when you get worse, when you have the jitteriness or the anxiety or the uncomfortable feeling, when it flares up, think about what you ate or pay attention to what you ate an hour or half an hour before. Usually it doesn't take very long for the thyroid to respond to a food. You'll find that there are foods that make the problem worse, and those are foods you need to eliminate. Do a food diary. Stay on the probiotics, the biolumin nightly essence, stay on the digestive enzymes, but it's extremely important that you do a food diary to see where your problems are, what your problem foods are. The next thing to do is to stabilize the blood sugar. How do you stabilize the blood sugar? You don't eat sugar. You don't eat bread. You don't eat pasta. You don't eat spaghetti. You don't eat rice. You don't eat anything that spikes up your blood sugar. Fruit juices and desserts. Get on the sweeties. Get on the Healthy Start Pack. Throw in some Z-Radical and all the things we just talked about with our last caller for sugar support. And then the last step, and it's a very important step, is to calm the body down by activating the so-called parasympathetic nervous system. Deep breathing techniques. Every time you feel like your thyroid is going crazy, sit on the couch and slow deep breathing, making sure you're focusing on the exhale. That's where your body relaxes. Hot showers, hot baths, massage, Reiki, yoga, meditation, all these are great ways to slow the body down. Hope we helped you, David. Got to move on. We're just flat out of time. If we left you on hold, I apologize. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. You've been listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back tomorrow with more good health information. Have a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. Bye for now.